What it do, Busters? The bug catcher is again here today. No longer smoking trees. Still catching butterfrees. The big news today, allegedly, right? Central Leaks is at it again with his leaks, if you would, saying that the remakes are done. No more Pokemon remakes. No more this, no more that. But once you're wrong one time, I don't believe nothing you say, right? Even if he ends up, or she, I guess, being right about some things. The Terra leak. When it first was leaking, right? What was Central Leak saying? What was Riddler Coup saying? What was everybody and their mama saying on Twitter, Busters? Ugh, Gen 10 is in Greece. It's in Greece. It's a Greek region. Confirmed. Get that weak mess out of here. Y'all didn't know. But you had the Terror leak. Supposedly there's still stuff in the Terror leak they're leaking. Just make it make sense. How did they get the Terror leak and everything, all the information they had said, ugh, Gen 10 is in Greek or in Greece. But then 4 months later, oh, actually, it's a Southeast Asian region. Which, is that even necessarily, particularly, exactly confirmed yet? I don't know. I didn't necessarily get the vibe from that when I watched the Gen 10 trailers. My point is this, is everybody's freaking out. Oh no, what about our Unova remakes? Our Gen 5 remakes? We'll probably still get them. We'll probably still get them. Or, worst case scenario, which would make me somewhat wrong, we'll just get them on the DS thing, right? They'll just do what they did with Fire Red and Leaf Green, like the big rumor is about Ruby Sapphire Emerald. They'll just make them available for purchase for like 20, 30 bucks. I just Everyone is always freaking out about Centro when we really can't trust what he's saying. We can't trust what any of these guys are saying. It just don't. It doesn't. Nothing always adds up with these guys. Cause I was fighting tooth and nail when the Terror League stuff first happened. I was fighting tooth and nail about, it not Gen 10 not being in Greece. I thought it was gonna be in Italy, personally, just because in Legend ZA everybody's French. Everybody's a French guy, French names, French this, French that, until you see the Quasartico bodyguard. His name's Vinny, an Italian name. And if you look at the map of Italy, how it ends in like a boot, by the toe of the boot, there's some small islands, and in Sicily, which is like its own country, but it's part of Italy, it's also a big island. So I just thought it was just gonna be in Italy. But I knew it wasn't gonna be in Greece, because Centro's a fool. And most of the leakers don't. They get one little hint of something maybe and they roll with it. Why would they just stop doing remakes? Just because the Legend series is doing well, which is true. And technically there is, and I'm not saying he's 100% wrong about everything. I'm not saying that he or she is 100% wrong about this particular league. But just take it with a grain of salt. We don't know who this Buster's talking to. We don't know if he's making stuff up. We don't even know if the Terra leak is truly real or not. I that whole Greek thing rubbed me the wrong way. Because if you think about Hoenn, And Sutopolis, that's Greek. That whole city's Greek inspired, even though that's a Japanese region. And if they're not doing remakes no more, what is this supposed? Maybe I should read this whole tweet. But what is this supposed Pokemon game with the first four regions in it? Like, wouldn't they have to remake everything? What was Let's Go? What was BDSP? I know the tweet does mention BDSP as a last minute thing, but if they got all this information, dude, they were talking Legends Johto. Now all of a sudden, that's not a thing. They were. Don't believe Centro, Busters. That's my whole point of this video. It's not even gonna be a long video. The Centro don't know what's going on. He saw Pokemon Gaia and he was like, okay, we're going to Greece. Me personally, I think the remakes are gonna happen just because there's such a demand for them. And I get, God, I just cracked my neck good, Busters. And I get that, like, they're, I honestly think they should just, in terms of everything from the 3DS should just be remastered and put onto the Switch hardware. And I personally think that Black and White should just be thrown on the Switch as well. And that's how we revisit it. But why can't there be a Black and White 3? That it, because technically, like, Black 2 and White 2 were the enhanced versions, right? But they're also sequels. Why can't they do a remake that's a sequel? Or a remake that's kind of like Let's Go, right? Where you're redoing the things in black and white, but you're not red and your rival's not blue, but they're in the story. They could do something like that. Me personally, I think that's exactly what they should do. They should just continue with the story where it left off, because they were the first games with a true sequel. Well, I guess Gen 2 is a sequel to Gen 1, huh? See, now after I said that, now I'm thinking a Legends game is more appropriate for Generation 5. But the whole, not by me, but the whole community loves Generation 5. I think just doing a Legends game, especially in the same vein as Legends ZA, like at least Arceus let us explore the whole Sinnoh region, basically. Uh, while I like ZA, being in that one city is kind of dumb. And I think specifically when we go back to Generation 5 that's not Blueberry Academy, they're going to want to do something a little bit more epic. Since this is the most beloved Pokemon game right now. This and like the Gen 1 titles or Fire Red or Leaf Green, whichever. Gen 1 in general. But I gotta admit, Gen 5's hot. Sinnoh was hot, and they gave us two. I don't understand why they just couldn't let Ilka. Like, that's my thing. Just because they're the Pokemon plans. Because Ilka and Pokemon made a company together. I forget the exact name of this company right now. But y'all can Google it. I forget it's like it's like Pokemon Company. You know what I'm saying? It's something. But Ilka and Pokemon have like a joint company. Just because Ilka, or just because in these tarot leaks, if they're real, or whatever Centro's punk self is leaking, just because it says Pokemon Game Freak's particular plans aren't to make remakes, that don't mean Ilka's isn't. If that makes sense. So don't believe them. Nothing's gonna come of half of what Centro says anyway. So in my most humble of conclusions, Centro's a buster. Riddler Koo's a buster. Riddler Koo was hinting at a Johto game for the longest. Where's his credibility at now? Like, Once you're wrong about something, you gotta question everything about this particular individual. And I do think Ilka is they didn't make this partner company with Pokemon and Ilka didn't come together to make this company just for no reason. So be on the lookout, Busters, for a remake here or there. I get why they didn't do Leaf Green or Kanto again because you got it in Gen 1, you got it in Gen 3, and you got it in I guess, Gen 7, right? Like, we've been to Kanto 3 times. Technically 4 if you count the Johto game. So, Kanto, unfortunately, I think is just complete. I think you could do something. I think if you do a Legends game for Kanto, it needs to be like Saffron City. Just kind of like ZA. Maybe let us catch Houndour since he's right outside of it. I would like some Cantonian forms. Like I want to see like a Cantonian Buizel. That's a normal type. I want to see a Cantonian, you know, a lot of a lot of Johto Pokemon can have Cantonian forms because it's right there. Like, let me see Cantonian Heracross. Let me see a Cantonian freaking Delibird. Let me see a Cantonian, you know, screw it, Mouse. But in conclusion, don't believe Central Leagues until it's 100% facts. Bust bags.